What if I told you scientists just uncovered a 2-kilometer energy grid beneath Egypt's pyramids? Technology so advanced, it could rewrite history and power entire cities today. Now, imagine standing in a dark French cave, staring at paintings of stars no human should have known existed, until NASA confirmed those millennia later. Strange, right? Or that Easter Island's iconic stone heads have hidden bodies underground, carved with symbols that flip their entire tragic story on its head. Or divers discovering a 5,000-year-old city near Greece, preserved underwater with gadgets rivaling modern computers. And what if I said Yellowstone hides a valley frozen in time, where plants from the Ice Age still thrive like woolly mammoths never went extinct? These aren't sci-fi fantasies. These are real discoveries. And they're forcing experts to question everything we thought we knew about our past. Stick with me as we dig into mysteries so bizarre, they'll make you wonder, is history itself a lie? Newly discovered ancient Egyptian mystery found deep under the Giza pyramids. For centuries, the pyramids of Giza have been the center of countless theories and ideas. Many think these huge structures were tombs for ancient Egyptian pharaohs, while others suggest aliens helped build them. However, a new discovery has questioned all earlier theories. Recently, 2 researchers in Egypt were employing an advanced technology known as synthetic aperture radar, SAR, which goes beyond traditional radar by penetrating the ground to reveal hidden structures. During their examination of the Giza pyramids, this technology uncovered something not only surprising, but truly unbelievable. Beneath the sandy facade of these ancient wonders lies an extensive infrastructure stretching nearly 2 kilometers deep. As the researchers completed a comprehensive scan of the entire area using SAR technology, they were astounded by the complexity of the system they found. It was no ordinary fortress or burial site. It appeared to be a highly sophisticated energy center, designed with advanced techniques that would be considered cutting edge even today. Further investigations revealed this system wasn't just for generating energy, but was possibly designed for wireless energy transmission, a concept similar to what Nikola Tesla envisioned in the early 20th century. The structures included intricate chambers and tunnels with breathtaking constructions that seemed to serve a special purpose. The scientists hypothesized that this wasn't just an ordinary power generation system. Some suggested it could have been used for communication with extraterrestrial beings. Adding to the mystery, the walls of these underground rooms featured unique hieroglyphs depicting celestial bodies and astronomical configurations, resembling modern astronomical findings from advanced telescopes. These images displayed stars and planets in positions accurately representing their current alignments, raising the question, how could people from 5,000 years ago possess knowledge of celestial elements that only modern technology has been able to identify? Among these fascinating hieroglyphs, some patterns were particularly intriguing because they depicted objects that resembled modern-day space vehicles and satellites. This has led some experts to propose that the ancient Egyptians might have had contact with an advanced alien civilization. Or perhaps they possessed technology far beyond our current understanding. In one chamber, researchers found a spherical artifact covered in complex engravings that not only mapped terrestrial landscapes, but also featured markings that suggest knowledge of other planets. This globe-like artifact hints at the possibility that the ancient Egyptians had explored celestial bodies long before the telescope was invented. The findings at Giza challenge our understanding of ancient civilizations and their capabilities. They hint at a civilization that could harness and transmit energy on a scale we have only begun to grasp. This mysterious and advanced infrastructure, hidden beneath one of the world's most studied archaeological sites, suggests a history much different from what has been previously imagined. Some experts believe that the eye and pyramid symbols on the American dollar actually represent mysterious forces that understood and used energy systems to control the world for their own purposes. If this is all true, can we reuse this technology in the future? Or will it remain just a secret of the past? Ancient cave art in France shows stars that weren't discovered until the space age. The Lascaux caves in France have amazed researchers since their discovery in 1940. Most people know about the stunning animal paintings from 17,000 years ago. But in a remote part of the cave, astronomers found something strange in 2019. Among the animal paintings were unusual dot patterns. For years, these dots were thought to be random decorations. But when astronomers analyzed them, they realized the dots matched the Pleiades star cluster. The shocking part, 3 of the stars in the pattern weren't visible to the naked eye. They were only discovered in the 1970s with NASA's telescopes. How did prehistoric humans know about stars they couldn't see? Some think the atmosphere was different back then, making the stars visible. Others believe ancient people had advanced knowledge we don't understand. Similar star patterns were found in caves in Spain and Portugal. The Ice Age was the peak of cave art. The night sky was clear, but even then, these stars shouldn't have been visible. This discovery makes us wonder, did ancient humans know more about the stars than we thought? Or is there another explanation we haven't found yet? The Easter Island statues have hidden bodies underground. Most people think of Easter Island's famous Moai statues as just giant heads. But archaeologists have known for years that they have bodies buried underground. In 2012, excavations revealed something unexpected. The buried torsos were covered in petroglyphs, carvings of symbols and writing. These carvings tell a different story about Easter Island. The conventional story says the island civilization collapsed due to resource depletion and war. But the new evidence suggests something else. The carvings include astronomical symbols, navigation charts, and images of plants and animals not native to Easter Island. Some carvings resemble South American plants and boats. This supports the idea that the Rapa Nui people were skilled navigators who traveled to South America. Carbon dating shows the carvings were made over many generations, with the latest additions from the 1700s. This is much later than the supposed collapse of the island's civilization. The carvings also show what looks like a tsunami, followed by boats bringing plants and animals. This suggests the island society didn't collapse due to environmental damage, but was hit by a natural disaster and received help from trading partners. These hidden carvings change everything we thought we knew about Easter Island. It wasn't a story of isolation and collapse, but of resilience, advanced navigation, and trade across the ocean. This underwater city near Greece is perfectly preserved after 5,000 years. In 2016, divers near the Greek island of Zakynthos found what looked like an ancient city underwater. Marine archaeologists discovered it was much older than they thought, about 5,000 years old. That's older than the Minoan civilization, the first advanced society in the region. The city is remarkably preserved. It has streets in a grid pattern, multi-story buildings, and a sophisticated water system. But the most shocking discovery came in 2018, when divers found a sealed chamber with metal devices. The devices included a complex, geared mechanism similar to the Antikythera mechanism, but 3,000 years old. The Antikythera mechanism is often called the world's first analog computer. Finding something similar but much older changes our understanding of technological development. The devices were made from a special copper-gold alloy that resists corrosion. Inscriptions on the objects are in an unknown script, older than any known writing in the region. The city's layout suggests it was home to about 8,000 people. It had manufacturing districts, religious zones, and residential areas. This shows a highly organized society with advanced technology. But who were these people? They existed before any known civilization in the region. They had knowledge that shouldn't have existed at the time. And why don't our historical records mention them? They seem to have vanished, leaving only their city as evidence they ever existed. When Yellowstone Park rangers tracked wildlife, in 2017, Yellowstone rangers tracking wolves found an isolated valley with plants that shouldn't exist. These plants vanished from North America at the end of the last ice age, about 11,500 years ago. The valley has an intact ecosystem of Ice Age plants. Botanists identified several species thought extinct. The valley's climate is cooler than the surrounding area thanks to a cold water aquifer beneath it. This aquifer acts like a natural refrigerator, keeping the valley cool. The isolation and unique climate created a refugium, a place where species survive when conditions elsewhere change. Carbon dating shows the valley has maintained its climate for about 13,000 years. This means these plants have been growing here while going extinct everywhere else. The discovery is significant for conservation biology. Living specimens of extinct plants allow scientists to study their genetics and potential uses. Some plants have unique compounds that could be used in medicine. The valley's location is kept secret to protect it. Scientists are studying it carefully to avoid disturbing the ecosystem. This living window into the Ice Age gives us new insights into North America's ecological past. The original blueprints of the Titanic revealed a safety feature that was never built. The sinking of the Titanic in 1912 is one of history's most famous disasters. In 2021, workers found original blueprints of the Titanic hidden in a wall at Harland and Wolff's headquarters in Belfast. The blueprints showed a double hull system designed to withstand iceberg damage. This system would have prevented the Titanic from sinking. The impact that sliced open the ship's hull would have been absorbed by the outer shell and air chambers, leaving the inner hull intact. Letters with the blueprints revealed that the ship's designer, Thomas Andrews, wanted this safety feature. But the White Star Line rejected it due to cost and reduced cargo space. Andrews warned about the risk of iceberg strikes, but his warnings were ignored. He died on the Titanic, knowing his design could have saved the ship. This discovery changes our understanding of the Titanic tragedy. It wasn't just a failure of imagination. It was a decision to prioritize profit over safety. Later ships used Andrews' design, but it was too late for the Titanic. This desert in Saudi Arabia contains perfect glass structures. In 2019, surveyors in Saudi Arabia's Rub al Khali Desert found strange glass structures. They were perfectly geometric and made of a glass-like material. Dating showed they formed 28 million years ago. long before humans exist. The material is mostly silica, like glass formed by lightning or meteor impacts. But it has unusual trace elements and a unique internal structure. The structures are arranged in precise geometric patterns, something natural forces don't usually create. The main structure has 57 columns in concentric circles, each 10 to 13 feet tall. Ground-penetrating radar shows they extend 90 feet below the surface. The column's placement follows precise geometric ratios. Scientists think a meteorite impact might have created the glass, but this doesn't explain the geometric arrangement or the unusual trace elements. The glass contains isotopes of beryllium and aluminum that don't match any known natural process on Earth. The structures also have optical properties. When sunlight hits them at certain angles, they create light patterns that match star positions from 28 million years ago. Some researchers suggest the structures might be the remains of non-human technology. Most scientists reject this idea, but they can't explain how the structures formed naturally. Saudi authorities have restricted access to the site while research continues. Whatever created these structures, they challenge our understanding of natural processes. Workers found a time capsule from 1345. After the Notre Dame fire in 2019, workers found a sealed lead box hidden in the North Tower. The box was placed there in 1345 during the cathedral's construction. Inside was a parchment manuscript with predictions about future events. The manuscript, written by a cathedral architect named Guillaume de Blois, describes events like the Black Death, airplanes, and the Notre Dame fire itself. It also mentions modern technology like smartphones and touchscreen devices. Medieval scholars confirm the manuscript's authenticity. Carbon dating places it between 1340 and 1345. The predictions use metaphorical language, but they match modern events surprisingly well. Historians are divided on how to interpret this. Some think it's a modern forgery, but tests show no evidence of modern materials. Others suggest Guillaume had prophetic visions, or that the manuscript somehow contains knowledge from the future. The mystery of how a 14th century builder could predict modern events remains unsolved. The manuscript continues to be studied, challenging our understanding of history and time. They found something at the bottom that rewrote maritime history. Engineers drained part of the Panama Canal for repairs. As the water receded, they found the remains of a ship's hull buried in the mud. The ship was from the late 1500s, long before the canal was built. This discovery is shocking because, according to history, no European ships crossed between the Atlantic and Pacific at this spot before the canal. The ship was Spanish, with cargo from China and Peru. This suggests a trading route between the Spanish colonies in Asia. The evidence points to a secret portage route where ships were partially disassembled and moved overland across Panama. Remnants of wooden tracks support this theory. Historical records hint at a royal passage used for high-priority shipments. This discovery changes our understanding of colonial trade routes. The Spanish may have used this secret route to avoid the dangerous journey around South America. The Panama Canal's construction in the 20th century is celebrated as the first time ships could cross between oceans here. But this discovery shows humans found a way centuries earlier. And that's it for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, see ya.